We substitute, right? We get A equals what? X squared plus 7. So we would have A squared equals 25. Now, is my square term by itself? Yep, so we square root it. Okay, so I take the square root of A squared, which gives me A equals, good, plus or minus 5. And then what do I do? Right, I plug it all back in. So we get X squared plus 7 equals plus or minus 5. So we weren't done here. We had to plug the value for A back in. So we get X squared plus 7 equals plus or minus 5. And then I want to solve for X squared. Now this one off the bat looks like it's going to be a little bit easier for us, right? Okay, so what do I want to do here? Right, I want to subtract 7 from both sides. So I'm actually going to have two answers here. X squared equals negative 7 plus 5. And X squared equals negative 7 minus 5. Okay, so I'm going to bring that back up over here. So we are going to get, let's use this one, X squared equals negative 7 plus 5. What does that give me? Negative 2. And we also have X squared equals negative 7 minus 5? Negative 12. So now we have two X squareds and they're both by themselves. So I just get to take the square root. So let's square root both of these things. When we take the square root of X squared, I'm left with just X equals square root of negative 2. Plus or minus I root 2. And this one is a little bit trickier. We're going to get X equals, how does 12 break down? We have 12, 2 and 6. And 6 breaks down to 2 and 3. Oh, and then my my negative. Good catch. So there we go, negative 1. So this would break down to X equals square root. I might have to write small, so negative 1 times 2 times 2 times 3. Yay, it all fits. So what can I take out here? X equals plus or minus. We can take out those 2's and that negative 1, so plus or minus 2I root 3. So I have two answers here. X equals plus or minus I root 2 and plus or minus 2I root 3. Okay, so example 7. This one, it's going to be the same types of steps that we want to do here as we've been doing. We just have a square root in there this time. Okay, so what was my first step? If I have a quantity, what do I want to do, Louie? We have all of this stuff inside an X squared. So what have we been doing since Unit 3 when we've had a whole bunch of stuff inside in a parentheses? Yeah, we substitute. So we let A equals
X
square root 2x. And notice, guys, that X is on the outside of the square root.
But I mean
plus 1. Okay, so what would we have? A squared equals 9. Okay, John, and then what do I want to do? I want to square root it. So what would I get?
You would get 3. I know it's 3 because when you...
A equals?
3.
Just positive 3?
No, it's plus or minus.
Good, it's plus or minus 3. Okay, so I'm done, right? No, Sophia, what do I have to do?
Plug the A back in.
Plug the A back in. So we would get square root of 2x plus 1 plus or minus 3 equals plus or minus 3, sorry. Okay. Now I want to get this x by itself, so what do I have to do first? Good, subtract the 1. So let's subtract 1. So I would get square root 2x equals 1 plus or minus 3, and that can break up into two choices, right? We would get square root of 2x equals, what's 1 plus 3? 4. Or we have square root of 2x equals 1 minus 3. Negative 2. You okay with that?
Over the 1 and the negative.
8. Negative 1. It would be positive 2. Oh my gosh. Positive 2, negative 4. Okay. You guys good now? Alright. So now we have square root 2x equals 2 and square root 2x equals negative 4. I want to get that x by itself. So what do I have to do to both of these? What do I do? Divide by square root 2. Good. Those are going to cancel. So what will my two answers be? We're going to do that. Yeah. No. So we're going to get x equals 2 over square root 2, and x equals negative 4 over square root 2. Am I allowed, Sim, to have square roots in the denominator? So what do I have to do? I have to multiply by square root 2. So we're going to multiply by square root 2 on both of these. So what would I get? X equals, right here, 2 times square root 2, 2 root 2, all over, root 2 times root 2, all over 2. And x equals negative 4 times root 2, negative 4 root 2, over 2. Now, did these simplify? Yeah, the 2's cancel each other out here, right? So that's going to give me x equals root 2. And what about this one?
Wait, why
I thought you could do
You can, because it's just division. So all we're doing is we're dividing the like terms. You just can't add or subtract. So our answer is going to be square root 2 and negative 2 square root 2.